Ninjago Dragons Rising has been up and down, and over its 3-year runtime, we've had some absolutely amazing episodes, 3 decent seasons, and some absolutely amazing LEGO Ninjago set. And in this video, we're going to take a look at what I consider to be one of the better Ninjago Dragons Rising set, and it is the 71814 Tournament Temple City. This is for 14 plus. I believe it has just over 3,300 pieces, and in the UK, it retails for £220. You're looking at about $250 USD. Which I think are both pretty fair prices. It has been a while since I built this thing. I got it maybe 4 months ago, but I know for a fact there's at least over 20 bags. Somewhere around the mid-20s, there's 13 amazing minifigures. We'll get into those in a minute. And let me just say, the set is absolutely massive. I think this is absolutely fantastic build. And it's been about 3 or 4 days. I don't actually remember once again. But it was really, really fun build process. And without further ado, let's get into the review of the Tournament Temple City. First minifigure we're going to look at here is Roby. He is a decent minifigure. He's got a nice mobile phone device. He has a flip face, one with a smile, one with a scared face. He has a decently printed robe, which I really like, but his lack of leg printing is quite unfortunate. At a £220 price tag, I would expect every minifigure in the set to have printed legs, and it is a shame that 5 of them don't. Absolutely, okay, that's great. Absurd by LEGO. Next minifigure looking at here is the Blacksmith. This one is kind of an irrelevant one, and I actually don't mind that this one doesn't have leg prints, as it's such a basic minifigure that I actually kind of prefer it without leg print. So I understand why they didn't go with a leg print for this one. Once again, she has a flip face, one with just a little smile, and then one with an absolutely massive smile. Her printing torso is fine, but her accessories I really like. The orange sword is very unique. Next minifigure here is Black. He's a nice character. I like his monocle, very unique. His torso print is nice once again, and I like the hairpiece used. And I absolutely love the fishing rod. I've got a few of those now, but I quite like it being in this set. But again, once again, his leg print, non-existent. He needs a leg print. There can't be 5 minifigures in a £220 set without printed legs. I think this is the best example because it is probably the most desirable character, second most desirable character in this set that doesn't have leg printing. Next is the Temple Guard, and this one is one that absolutely needs leg printing. I'm going to talk about this in every minifigure that I go over. But with how technical his face and torso is, I absolutely don't understand why he doesn't have legs. His accessory is nice, his little breathing piece I also really like, and his very unique molds overall. I think this is an absolutely fantastic minifigure, but the lack of leg prints once again is not very nice. But again, I really like this minifigure. It looks absolutely amazing in front of the temple. But I'm going to say this time and time again, as it's really bad by LEGO. £220 set, and we're having 5 minifigures with no leg prints. I believe this is the first time that we see the Invisible Man, Mr. Pale, in Ninjago set. I think he came out in like these police sets in like 2014 before he actually became in Ninjago, which was very cool Easter egg. Really, nobody actually really noticed him in this police thing, but I really like that. This is another one that needs leg prints in my opinion, as there is actually a torso line that it leads down to the legs, and it looks kind of incomplete for me. So this is definitely the best example of it needing leg print. The invisible head looks really goofy from the back, but again, this minifigure is really good, to be honest. I like his hat, and his unique torso and head print is very nice. Our first villain in the set is Jordana. I love her torso and leg prints, absolutely fantastic. The neck piece leaves a bit to be desired. I just don't really like its look on this character. It looks a bit bulky. This set needed Frack, in my opinion, as he was very, very prominent in the Tournament of Sorcerers. So that piece would have better suited Frack, and I don't really like the look of this piece as a whole. It is way too wide, in my opinion. It don't look bad, it's not the end of the world, and the face print leaves a bit to be desired once again. But overall, this isn't a bad minifigure whatsoever, it's just a little nitpick. It still looks very nice. Next up is Lord Raz, and I think this is an absolutely amazing minifigure. We got back his arm prints in this set, as we went for the entire of the second part of Season 1 without his arm print. Sorry, Season 2 Part 1, he didn't have any arm print in that season, so his minifigure didn't have any arm print either, but I very much like this one here. I'm pretty sure it's just a recolour of his one from 2023. But I think it's a fantastic minifigure, and I love his all-round look, and it is a very nice minifigure to add to the collection. Next is Wildfire, and she's just rocking the same basic look that we've seen since Dragons Rising Season 2. It's a shame that they haven't given her a more unique look as the seasons go on. She's the only character who's had such a little amount of... And it's kind of strange to me that Aaron, Sora, and Wildfire have all had 1 or 2 suits each, whereas all the ninja have got like 5 new suits across both these seasons, when literally the new main characters don't even have new suits. Once again, it's kind of absurd, but I don't mind it here, as it is a very nice minifigure, and it is nice to have more than one of these in the collection. My favourite minifigure in this set is definitely Aaron. I love the contrast with the orange and the dark blue. I think it looks absolutely amazing. His face print is the same that we see in Dragons Rising Season 1, same for the hairpiece. But the torso and leg print is very unique, and I love the use of the blue mask piece. I think the half mask look really suits Aaron. And it is the first time we do get to see him with that half mask look, and I really like the dark blue. Again, the contrast is very nice. And this is definitely my favourite minifigure in this £220 set. We get 4 of the ninja in this set in Zane, Cole, Lloyd, and Nia. And they all have absolutely amazing suits, but one little downside for me is that they are all just recolours of each other, essentially. The suit looks really good, but I prefer when each ninja has a more unique elements to their robe. So in that way, they aren't very unique to each other. But the colour schemes are very nice. I like the use of dark azure on Nia. The orange on black looks great as always for Cole, and the blue on white looks great for Zane as always. And Lloyd just keeps his regular green and dark green look. And to be honest, the one thing I do like about them all having the exact same suit, essentially, is that they do look very, very nice on a shelf in a row next to each other. My favourite example of this is with the 2023 Dragons Rising Season 1 suit, as all 6 of these together are very, very similar, and they look very nice. Anyway, that is all 13 minifigures that we get in this set, so let's get them out of the way and move on to the little side builds. We get a little dragon and a hot air balloon. I'll get onto the dragon in a moment. This is the first thing that we build in this set, and I think it looks very nice. I like the use of this moulded piece in the middle, and it was quite a fun little build. I think it would have been nice in a polybag I get as well, because you can maybe get 2 of these, but it's not really a big deal. I very much like this in this set. Adds a bit of value for me, and I like the use of an arrowhead piece there, and also a hat piece there. Not much really else to say about this. I think Mr. Pale looks really good in this. I'm not sure what this dragon's name is, but I think it's a very nice little build for this set. Adds maybe £10 of value for me, and I like the printed headpiece. It's the same one that we see on the young Dragon Ryu, except obviously recoloured and also with the leaf check texture. So it's a very nice little dragon mini build, and I like that we get it in this set. My only ick with this set is that we see all of the dark bluish grey pieces dotted around, and I think it looks absolutely awful having the contrast between the dark orange, the yellow, and then the grey. I like the orange and the yellow, it's an amazing colour scheme, but the grey just dotted around kind of ruins it for me. I don't see why LEGO don't just print this piece in different colours. I don't know why they're so strict on this. I think the best example is the 2021 TIE Fighter from LEGO Star Wars, where the dark grey piece did not match the light grey. But I think this is another example of this. It just looks horrendous. I like the lamp and the leaf pieces embedded throughout, but that kind of ruins it for me. I really like the sticker detailing, and the legs look absolutely fantastic. And when the dragon is not in the cave, I like to put wildfire sat upon it. These are some nice side builds to add some more life to the Tournament Temple City. This was a really fun build as you built it up, and then you built this little bridge, you built this little house, and then you also built the blacksmith shop. I'll get onto all those in a moment. But first, let's talk about this cave. I love the rock textures all the way around. This sticker looks a little bit off to me. It's the only time this sticker piece is used in the set. But it looks a little bit off as the grey does not match the grey of the brick. And also we don't see that on any of the other rock works. It just looks a bit out of place. I really like having the tree roots stick out, and this tree as a whole just looks really nice. This is the last thing that we build in the set, the very last thing. And we get 4 of these dotted around. And once again, I think these definitely add lots of life to this set, and I think it looks amazing. As a mock maker, I really appreciate the rock work, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic overall. Let's get into the interior of this little cave, though. Quickly before I do that, though, there is a little play feature here. Wait, what? Okay, so I haven't realised this for probably months, but the little play feature here has just been sitting on my shelf. I didn't even notice it fell off. But it basically means when you have it on, this little bit sticks up, and then you can push it down, and it's like a little trap for whoever stood above below it. So let's use Aaron as the unfortunate soul who will be the test dummy for this trap. And there we go. I think it's a very satisfying play feature, and one that kids will definitely enjoy. But I don't know how I didn't notice that it was missing, especially considering that the minifigures were centered around this thing the entire time. And it kind of makes this little thing sticking out here look less out of place. I think this looks amazing. While we're at the backside, I'll show you the entire interior of the Temple City, and then also this little house. But for now, let's look at the cave. Inside here, we have a little statue, which I think looks very nice. We have a little printed piece here. Sorry, that's a sticker piece. A couple candles and some bones on the floor. Once again, the rock work is very nice, and I can very appreciate this as a mock maker. And this side of the cave was very fun to build, especially the very sleek back side of the model. The left side has a little campfire, and then also this little gold statue. I think this looks very nice. Once again, the rock work, I'm going to say that time and time again. And also hidden over there, this is the best angle we can get of the interior of this play feature. But this door can open here, and I think it's a very good spying hatch for the ninja. I'll show you some more of that play feature from the front when we go back there. And this is where I like to put Lloyd, like, kind of spying through. Anyway, the backside of these caves do look very nice. This probably isn't the best look at the trophy, but we also do get a nice look at these water fire elements. I don't really know what they're trying to go for there. I think it's just some blue flames. I don't know how that didn't click in just then, but it looks very nice overall. And the trophy room was a fun little build. We also have like a teapot and a little plant there. The next floor has some beds and a little training room. This looks fine, I guess. The beds are kind of out of place, but it's a nice little function for maybe somebody could put minifigures there. I don't, because I don't really like to have minifigures in there as a whole, as we don't get to see them on display on the actual model. But this is a nice little punching bag. You can flick it all around, do whatever you want with it, turn it. No, you can't really turn it very well. This can spin, however, and it's a very nice little training area, especially with the small space provided. The next floor has a little table, a plant, some stickered details, and a phone. And the final floor has this little fiery element, and you can see it through the windows. It's very obscure to me. Let me tell you now, this was an absolute pain to put on. It took me like 3 or 4 tries. But this little wire, it's so annoying. For some reason, for me, when I first got this set, it kept just going like that, and I couldn't get it to go down. I finally managed to figure it out, but I don't know why. For me, it was an absolute pain. I think I just realised the problem after all these months, and as somebody with ADHD, I don't know how I didn't notice this earlier. But I think this looks much better this way, because they were all upside down. And yeah, now it's a lot more symmetrical. But this house is a very nice addition, and it adds some uniqueness to the Tournament Temple City. And this is where I like to display Zane. Obviously, he's the smart one, so it makes sense for him to be on lookout, and I think that's a very nice little area for Zane. Turning back round to the front, we get some more angles at some of the things I showed you just then. There's a nice look at the tournament trophy. I think this looks absolutely amazing with the sticker element. Although repetitive, I had a lot of fun building this room. The techniques used were very unique, and as we go up, we see it get smaller. And I love the use of this technique piece at the top to create those angles. And these trees definitely add a lot of life once again. Here we get a front angle at this little house, and there's a door. It's kind of difficult to open. I'm just going to use the window. There's not really a lot of space, but obviously it can open. I'm not really going to be bothered to do it now, but yeah, it can open. I really like this little arch. I think it adds a lot of just texture to the build, and it kind of splits it up a little bit as it goes from building a lot of rock work to a building, to a blacksmith, to a bridge, to a house, to a, a little arch, and it does split up the build process a lot, adding all these little unique details, such as an arch, such as a house, etc. But here we get another look at one of our play features when you knock this down. Wait, I think there's supposed to be a functionality. One sec. Okay, I realised what I did wrong. I had it stood back, but when you knock it down very simply, it rolls down. It's supposed to go down all the way down the bridge, and then just go out here. I think that's a very fun functionality and a play feature for kids. I really like the plant work here, and I really like the path too. The use of the light nougat bricks looks very nice, and I just really like the way it comes down using a lot of wedge plate. This bridge is a really nice detail, and I really like making this little arch here. It's kind of like similar to this roof over there, but I think it looks a lot better for this little section. They use the grapple piece from the Dragons Rising Season 2 climber suits. That was made by Sora and developed in the show. We get a little fishing area, and this is where I like to put Blacked. It's kind of difficult. And I think he looks very good there, and you can put the fish here as if it's swimming around, and then he's about to fish it up. This is a play feature that I actually love. I don't really know what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like some kind of crate. There's a stickered element on the side that looks atrocious because of the miscoloured sticker piece. But when you spin this around, it goes up. When you spin this down, it goes down. And I think that's a very nice play feature. When you spin it around so much, it's just a nice little play feature. I had a lot of fun making it, and it can also spin it around too. There are some more looks at the rock work around, very, very nice looking. And overall, this little bridge design and this little rock work and the fishing docks area, all a very nice inclusion for this set. One of my favourite parts, and also one of my least favourite parts at the same time, is the blacksmith area. Here we can get a better look at our play feature with Lloyd. You just open this door very, very simply with this little latch there. It kind of looks out of place, but it doesn't look too bad with all the rock work and very rough terrain. I think this is supposed to be like a little fire. I think it looks fine. You get a bit of coal inside, which is very unique. I like the ingot pieces, and overall this looks very nice. This wheel is a very fun play feature, but it does have a lot of problems working for me. I don't know if this happens to everybody. But the way this play feature is supposed to work, when you spin this wheel spins, and it's working sort of well. Okay, now it's just stopped. And I don't know if I built it wrong, but for some reason here, whenever I do that, it just falls apart. So I think it should... No, it just doesn't work now anymore. It's pretty annoying to get fixed. I've done it many times, and I've tried many different things, but no matter what I do, it just doesn't fix it. It's very, very weird. But it doesn't distract from the playability of this set, because it's a fantastic play feature. And it doesn't distract in the display. I really like this run of water, kind of like it's kind of like a gutter. I think it looks amazing. And then there's also the simulation of water coming down here. And then that's when you could use the play feature to spin this. I find it easier just to do that, as that way you get it a lot faster, and these just pop up and down. And that's where I like to put Mr. Pale and his hot air balloon. The interior gives us this, which is the climber armor piece made in brown. I think this is a very nice addition, and you can kind of make your own brown ninja minifigure with. I think that's a very nice addition. The blacksmith interior is fine. You get another look at the play feature here. I'm pretty sure when you spin this wheel, it's supposed to spin it again. It's just not working for me. I don't know what that is. Here's a better angle. I think that play feature is supposed to work for the little hammer there. It's kind of difficult once again, as there's not a lot of finger space. But again, it's probably a nice play feature for kids. You can see on the back of the box in more detail. But I just think this entire blacksmith area just leaves a bit to be desired. But this is where I do like to put that blacksmith minifigure. Anyway, this here is where I like to put Jordana, Cinder, and Raz. Cinder you get in the battle arena, another very nice set that I have reviewed on this channel. And that's why I like Lloyd there, that's why he's kind of spying on them. I know it's not really happening in the show, I just think it's a nice little play feature. The cave is where I like to put the dragon. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. And one thing I forgot to tell you about the little blacksmith is it does have a bit more of interior, and I do find this quite annoying to get into, and it's just taking this. Okay, I'm just going to have to move this away. Anyway, this entire roof could come off, and the reason I think this is a pain is because this bit falls off every time. You have to put it back on. And it's mainly because of this tree here. I think this tree looks amazing, but then to get in the interior properly, you'd have to take this out, and it's an absolute pain, really. You also get this little Ninjago Kai doll piece, which is a reference to Season 6, I believe. Or one of these seasons where they find a Kai action figure. But I think it's in Season 6 when they're at the City of Styx. And they are all undercover as they have been framed by Noricon, my favourite season of Ninjago. Anyway, I put that there right next to this bed. There's also supposed to be like a little print piece there, but I don't know where that's gone. I've had this set a very long time and I've not reviewed it yet. Until now, obviously, and I don't know where that piece has gone, unfortunately. But it's just another little stickered piece, and it just doesn't look very good. It's not don't really add anything to the set, but it's a nice addition, I guess. Okay, I found it when I was doing another little segment of the video, where I take off this blacksmith, but I have found it now, and it don't really add much once again. It's just another little poster. I think it's a trading card of Kai, or no, sorry, Jay. I think it's a reference to Season 1 of Ninjago. But yes, that entire area can come off, and I think it looks fine like that. I kind of prefer that look as a dock. It doesn't look too bad as a dock area, but I definitely prefer the look with the blacksmith. I think the blacksmith adds a lot of playability and a lot of functionality, and definitely better looking on display. Okay, back to what I was talking about a moment ago. The dragon goes in here, and I think it looks amazing in the little cave. Kind of like it's his home. And quickly, I'm going to add all the minifigures where I like to put them, and I'm going to show you how I like to display my set. I like to have Wildfire and Roby there, as obviously in the show they are together. And I think it's very cute to have them next to each other there. Next, I like to take my custom Frack minifigure, which definitely should have been included in the set, and obviously would have been a lot better than mine, but we have finally gotten a Frack minifigure in 2025. Although it's not the one from this scene, I think it's a very nice minifigure that I will definitely add to my collection soon. Anyway, done with that little yap session, that's my custom Frack, and I use Aaron as well. And I put them there in this corner. I have the Temple City Guard there. In front of the door, I think he looks very menacing. Once again, I have all the villains there with Lloyd in the background, with the blacksmith in her shop, of course. I have the Invisible Man, Mr. Pale, and his hot air balloon right there, and I think it looks fantastic. Of course, Blecht and his fish at the docks. Zane at his little house. And I don't actually keep Nia and Cole on this set, and that's what I'm going to show you now. And that is this set's combination with the Tournament Battle Arena. Another fantastic set, which once again I did review on my YouTube a few months back. So if you want to, you can go watch that video. Just click on my channel. And obviously I'm not doing a full review of this set in that video, you could go watch that yourself if you really want to. But I like to display Nia on this little stand, so that you can simulate their little fight scene. Obviously Nia ended up having to win, and I like to have Nia's weapon there, as it's kind of a sign that she won't fight Jay. Also, if you buy both of these sets, which I would definitely recommend, and you can get a full line of ninja minifigures in Aaron, Sora, Wildfire, all the new ones. And of course the OG 6 Ninja in Nia, Jay, Kai, Lloyd, Zane and Cole. Although inaccurate, I just like to have Kai, Cole and Sora watching the fight, with Tox in the background and just a villain minifigure right there. And I think these sets look fantastic next to each other. And let's show how to combine the two sets. On the Tournament Temple City set, this little panel here can pop off, reveal, okay, it's kind of difficult, but it reveals some Technic pin areas, and that's where the battle arena is going to go. Anyway, you have to take apart all 4 little sections, and for now we're just going to push the other ones to the side. Anyway, it is advised in the instruction manuals that you put the little actual battle arena part here. I think this looks fine, but not really fitting in with the rest of the set, in my opinion. Anyway, in the instructions, you are advised to put the bell and the statue over here. So you have to take off these little sections too. I don't know why this is such a problem for me. I'm just trying to take apart the set so I can show you the comparison with adding this to the set and expansion pack, sort of. And this piece just won't come on. I feel like I'm just going to have to mention that now, in case anybody else has that problem. I don't know if that's a reoccurring thing or if it's just with me, but this piece just won't come off no matter what I do. I'll figure something out and I'll check back with you when I've got these all back on. I don't know why that's such a problem, but you can take these and put them wherever you want. Anyway, these instructions advise you to put the little bell here and the statue here, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't like this look whatsoever. I don't like that they're all split up, and I can't have that little dynamic scene of the ninja all watching as Jay and Nia, heartbreaking to the ninja, have a little fight. And then there's also no space for all these little inclusions, which I really hate, as I really like these little areas. So although these sets look great next to each other, they don't go very well in the actual the actual combination of them. I quite like this look here with the Battle Arena down here and the Tournament Temple City in the background, and I kind of wish there was a way to combine the sets like that, but sadly it's just not meant to be. And these sets do look fine together next to each other like that. Anyway, all in all, I think the Tournament Temple City has a 9.9 out of 10 build, with just some minor flaws with the sticker detailing overall. But the minifigures do leave something to be desired, as only 13 for £220 isn't really a lot, especially when we should have had Frack. 14 would have definitely been a much more suitable amount, especially if it was Frack. And with 5 of the minifigures not having leg printing, and it's just not very good overall as a set for minifigures. But the combination with the Temple City is amazing, as you do get all 6 ninja minifigures and the 3 trainees. Anyway, that's what I'm going to give this set overall a 9.2 out of 10. Anyway, let me think of this, and thanks for watching. Bye.